Good morning, folks. We've got news, animations, information streams, data on SoCal air quality amidst the blaze, large earthquakes, and more. Let's get started over at spaceweathernews.com, checking out the last 24 hours on our star and 193 angstroms, revealing all quiet and ionized iron signatures of the corona. No solar flares as there are no sunspots, and the solar wind at Earth is calming gently, and geomagnetic conditions are in the safe zone for both technology and human health. Next solar wind stream is still 2 to 3 days away from that northern coronal hole. Might actually be one full system with the trailing extension on the south, but as you know, when their IMF and kinetic alpha waves face Earth without geomagnetic storms, we get the earthquakes. Two big ones as potential foreshocks in Micronesia, also one out on the water north of New Zealand. Folks, up next, we're zooming in on the Southern California wildfire zone to see the effects on the air. Carbon monoxide concentrations at levels even China's industrial zones don't regularly see, much higher than in the pollution zone of the Northeast. And the carbon dioxide concentration is significant as well. In fact, all particulate matter from less than 1 micron to 10 are heavily blocking the skies, and on GOES satellites, you can see the smoke pushing offshore there. Folks, a relatively inflammatory paper is out suggesting there is no sea level rise in Yemen. If their analysis is correct, it means there is only local subsidence and rise effects globally, no climate-driven sea level changes almost anywhere, as it is applicable across the planet. There are some terrific animations out of the Goddard SVS, this one on soil moisture and its changes over time. The ability of the satellites to not only measure the surface water, but model down into the root system and subsurface holding regions is impressive. It was used in another animation here to focus on the extreme drought in South Africa. Imagine being too dry and then having the driest year in 3 decades. Interesting and complex article out of the LIGO data. You may remember that we've said the macho numbers needed to be updated to include more of the red dwarfs and trillions of rogue planets. Probably wouldn't account for all the dark matter, but it would be helpful to have good numbers. Well, this paper took a slightly different approach and debunked primordial black holes being the dark matter. Tough to argue with that one either. We've got wind maps and shots of our star to close. Website members at suspiciousobservers.org. Thank you for keeping these morning news free here on YouTube every day. We greatly appreciate your support, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, right here. But right now, it's 5:35 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.